Welcome back to the Royal News. I'm speaking with Coleen Rowley. Coleen is former FBI special agent and division counsel. In 2002, she was named one of Time magazine's Persons of the Year for having exposed some of the FBI's pre-9/11 failures. Thanks again for joining us, Coleen.
Thank you, Sharmini.
So, Coleen, in the first segment, we ended with who's really in charge. Is it the deep state, and what are the divisions within the deep state that's going on right now, or is it the executive branch? And it is interesting to note that Senator Charles Schumer warned Trump last month about talking about the intelligence community, period. He said that Trump really, it's dumb, he said, for attacking intelligence agencies. He then added, let me tell you, you take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. Schumer's implication seems rather serious, confirming what many suspect, that intelligence community is a government unto itself. What do you think?
I think they're pretty powerful, and if you go back even decades, you can see that there are times when the intelligence community is one of their illegal acts, for instance, are being found out. Now, this happened in the lead up to COINTELPRO, to the Church Committee, when the CIA and the NSA were even monitoring Frank Church at the time. You also see it, for instance, when Brennan's CIA was found to have engaged in that torture program, and Brennan reacted by actually then trying to sabotage Feinstein's legislative branch Senate Intelligence Committee investigation. So it's not beyond the pale that Schumer is right. If you have to be very careful, you're walking on eggshells. They're very powerful, especially now that they've been given the power to spy on Americans. And of course, this is, little people that are talking to their friends and neighbors they don't care about, but the people at the top are the ones they care about. And certainly this is true with foreign governments. It's always been the case with foreign governments, even allies. So our NSA knows pretty much everything they know all the communications of many very powerful people in the world. You can question why Flynn did not understand that this was all being tape recorded, since he was the director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. It's like, how could he have not understood that this would all be on tape and etc. So obviously they're very powerful. There are people that even suggest that the CIA, the Dulles brothers, the heads, not the CIA, but the heads, when they become very powerful, they can actually go against executive branch. Maybe they were responsible for John F. Kennedy's assassination. That's considered a conspiracy theory, but there's a lot of circumstantial evidence for that. Besides the intelligence agencies, there's another group that Trump has gotten wrong-sided with, and that's the mainstream media. And that's another group you don't want to mess with. They're very powerful. During the election, he was able to somehow get elected, even with the mainstream media pretty much criticizing him all the time. However, I think that it's just a question of time, and there are many different things that even working together, maybe with some people in the legislative branch, with congresspersons. And so, yes, it's, you can say this was very politically not smart of Trump and Flynn to have, kind of provoked the media and the intelligence agencies.
Coleen, what do you make of the political divisions within the deep state or the intelligence state, and what they prefer and who they prefer to have in power?
I don't think this is a division between, I think the division, if there is one, it exists between the leadership and the worker bees. I think there are good people working in the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, and they just want to do their job, collect intelligence, do their analysis. I think, though, the people in Washington that are more political appointees, in and out, I think those are the people with these political objectives usually. And unfortunately, I'm very worried that this neocon cabal that began already before the Bush administration has simply become more and more powerful. And it has engaged some of these leaders and former leaders of intelligence agencies, such as Michael Hayden, such as Brennan. And, they're out of power now, so they have every every motivation to leak and to try to sway the mainstream coverage and sway public opinion into their way of thinking. Again, I think the people down at the lower levels are trying to do their job, and maybe a good whistleblower will actually come out of those lower levels who is motivated for the right reasons, just trying to reveal, trying to reveal some deceit on the part of higher levels. But it's a mess in Washington, D.C. I mean, it does not take an Einstein to say it's a mess. We have a polarized environment, completely polarized now. And unfortunately, we also have this perpetual war that's in the background and that threatens to even worsen if we go against Russia and Iran. All of these things have been talked about by different politicians and officials.
All right, Coleen, I thank you so much for joining us and looking forward to having you back.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on the Real News Network.